Here we are, NWA Starrcade 1983 Flair for the Gold review. And before I get started, I want to let you guys know to subscribe to our channel, like our videos. I would also like for you guys to go on Facebook and like our page, facebook.com/WrestlingRampage. And before WrestleMania, before there was pay-per-view, there was Starrcade 1983 Flair for the Gold on closed circuit television in Greensboro, North Carolina, at the Greensboro Coliseum. On commentary that night, late great WWE Hall of Famer Gordon Solie with Bob Caudle. Match 1, the Assassins and Paul Jones, with Paul Jones, versus Bugsy McGraw and Rufus R. Jones. It was a pretty cold match, no backstory. It seems like it was just thrown together like an added match, and it wasn't that good, but the Assassins end up winning that match. Match 2, Johnny Weaver and Scott McGee versus Kevin Sullivan and Mark Lewin with manager Gary Hart. Gary Hart, tremendous manager. I've always enjoyed watching him. It was a okay match with Kevin Sullivan and Mark Lewin end up winning the match. And after the match, Gary Hart gives Mark Lewin a spike, and he starts bloodying up Scott McGee. Match 3, Carlos Colon versus Abdullah the Butcher. A very bloody and violent feud that started in Puerto Rico and spilled over in the United States, all over the United States. During the match, they traded foreign objects. Very, very bloody match. Abdullah ends up winning with the help of Hugo Savinovich. Match 4, Chief Wahoo McDaniel and Mark Youngblood versus Bob Orton and Dick Slater. A very, very great contest. Very great fan reaction to the match. It was a really great match. Bob Orton and Dick Slater end up winning that match. Match 5, NWA TV title match. Champion, the Great Kabuki with manager Gary Hart versus Downtown Charlie Brown, which of course is Jimmy Valiant. Everybody knows that. He had the beard. He was coming out doing the boogie woogie stuff. And of course, in classic Jimmy fashion, he gets a great fan reaction for anything he does. And Charlie Brown ends up winning the NWA TV title. Match 6, the Dog Collar match, pitting Greg the Hammer Valentine, U.S. Champion, versus Rowdy Roddy Piper. And to me, it was the match that stole the show at Starrcade. First ever Dog Collar match. The Piper Valentine feud was just so good. Piper had some ear injury before the match, and during the match he ended up having blood coming out of his ear and lost his balance. Very graphic. The NWA didn't want to sanction this match, but Jim Crockett ended up doing it anyway. The match was won by Rowdy Roddy Piper. Match 7, NWA Tag Team Championship match. Jack and Jerry Briscoe versus Jay Youngblood and Ricky Steamboat, with special guest referee wrestling legend Angelo Mosca. Great match. You had your great young team of Jay Youngblood and Ricky Steamboat. They're really good, and they ended up winning the NWA Tag Team Championships. Then, on to the main event of the evening. The NWA World Heavyweight Championship match in a steel cage. with champion Harley Race versus Ric Flair. The Flair for the Gold was the title of the pay-per-view. It was the whole premise behind the pay-per-view. It was Ric Flair's quest to become a second-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion. With special guest referee Gene Knitsky. It was a very bloody match. A great match. With Ric Flair ended up winning his second NWA World Heavyweight Championship. And it's the way a main event should be. And before I go, I want to make sure that you like us on YouTube, like our videos, subscribe to us on YouTube, and go to facebook.com/WrestlingRampage and like us on there too.